Hello my friends, I'm Jeanette with Vivo Vintage Designs. Welcome to today's video. Before we get started, I'll remind you that all the products used are listed in the description box just below the video. Please click on Show More or the arrow if you don't see the list, and it will expand. Also, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. Your interaction is very helpful and very much appreciated, and it's a nice way to show your support for my channel. So I've been having a lot of difficulties working with the alcohol inks in my studio because it's very cold and humid down there. So the inks don't seem to want to participate. So I decided, because I was aching to make a flower, to try my Ranger hand blower. So here I've put down a little bit of pitch black in the center. I used a micro brush to shape it because it's not going where I want it to go. And then I used a little bit of meadow around the edges. Now in the bottle you see in my hand, I have a mix of alcohol and the color mushroom. So I'm putting it down and using the Ranger air blower, and you can see how pretty the petals turn out. And the humidity doesn't seem to be affecting it too much. And I'm using large amounts of alcohol because I want to create large petals. So far it's looking good, but at one point it begins to go awry because I think I may have used too much alcohol and ink mix. But as always, I continued with the painting. But I don't like the way some of the petals don't look like they're coming from the center. They're overlapping one another and going in different directions. So I continued to blow out petals until I was satisfied with the way it looked. And probably should have used less alcohol because I'm using a piece of KRYLON photo paper that I cut into quarters. So you can see that the petals, there's no center. So now I'm using the micro brush to apply the pitch black back to my center. And then drying it with the Ranger hand blower. And now I'm just using alcohol to create that little shadow at the center of the flower, so that when I start putting down my center, there's a little shadow there. It just makes the center pop more. And I like to stagger my petals. I don't like one to be laying on top of the one before it. So staggering them, I think, is more of a natural look. And you can see that to widen my petals, I angle the flow of air towards the edges to widen those petals. And you have to make sure that you blow the ink completely dry, otherwise you get those funny little marks like I got on the one on the top there. But I'll go back and fix that. And as always, I keep saying just one more petal, just one more, but I end up doing a lot more. And my paper is curling a little bit, so I just flattened it out a little bit. And now I'm using pitch black on a micro brush to create a little texture in the center of the flower. I had an idea for the center, but I wasn't sure how to execute it. So I was experimenting, honestly. I'm drawing that pitch black, and now I'm just using alcohol on the micro brush to create that texture that I want. I'm always trying to find different ways to create centers and just make them look a little bit different. The round ones with the snow cap are really pretty, but I do so many of them that I always want to try something different. So you can see I put the alcohol on the brush. I'm just using alcohol on the dirty micro brush, and I'm tapping in the center and going outside of the center onto the petals with the pitch black that is picked up by the brush, and trying to create a little texture in the center as well. And I wanted to use my white gel pen to create some lines in there, but it just, I always lose my gel pen. So I decided to try a little bit of alcohol, not alcohol ink, the snow cap, to create a little highlight on some of these circles that I created. So now I think I'm looking for my white gel pen, which always disappears on me. And instead I found one of these pens. It was given to me for Christmas, and I believe it's a blending pen. I believe there's alcohol in it. It has to be alcohol. I'm not even sure because I threw away the packaging. But as I touched the tip to the center of my flower, it did lift some of the color. So I'm assuming that it is alcohol. And I was able to achieve the texture that I wanted. Now you can also do this with just plain alcohol on a clean micro brush. Now I'm using another white gel pen that I was able to find to create a little highlight, but the lines are too sharp and I want a softer look, so I'm using the micro brush to kind of soften the look. But this was too much effort for the look that it was giving me. It wasn't exactly what I wanted. And the gel pen was picking up the black from underneath, and it was turning kind of pink, which was not what I wanted. But I wasn't giving up. Now I'm trying to use the micro brush to lighten one side of the circles that I created. And now I decided to try the blending pen instead to lift some of the ink off and create a highlight on one side of the circles. And that seemed to work really well. It was much softer, and that's what I wanted. So as I always say, I learned alcohol ink by trial and error, and this is how it works for me. I try different things and see what works best. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But using the blending pen seemed to work pretty well. And these blending pens are nice because they have a broad tip and they have a brush tip which comes to a point, which is pretty nice. Now I'm using the white gel pen to create little lines to connect those circles that I did to the center of the flower. But the gel pen that I'm using has a broad tip, and I didn't like the lines. They were too thick. So then I used a black gel pen on either side of those lines to narrow those white lines that I did. And I added some white dots, and soon you'll see me use the black gel pen to narrow those lines that I created. But I figured if it's going to turn pink, I might as well go with it, and I just added some white dots which will eventually turn pink. And now I'm just adding some more highlights with the blending pen by removing some of the ink on one side of the circles. And adding some more lines to connect those circles to the center. And now here I am with the black gel pen, trying to make those white lines a little bit thinner. So I'm just going around each of those lines with the black gel pen on either side to make them a little bit more narrow. And then I decided that I liked the way the black looked, so I added a few little black lines here and there to connect some of the other little dots. I have to tell you, I went all out on this center. I think I used every tool I have. But practicing things like this helps you to discover new ways to create centers or whatever it is that you're working on, and next time it'll be easier. So now I have a silver metallic gel pen, and I'm accenting the highlight on some of these circles that I've created. And now using a green one to do a half circle on the other side of some of these circles. Now, if you would like to see the completed painting, take a look on my Facebook page, because I know that the thumbnail is pretty small, but I do have a close-up picture of the flower in the center on my Facebook page, Vivo Vintage Designs. So please do check out my Facebook page. Also, I post some of my art that I don't make videos for on there, and that's where you can drop a picture of your version of my tutorial in the comment section of each video. I really like to see how everyone does. I don't often get that opportunity. Well, this video is coming to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye.